got this figured is that we're starting the Indian of Ketoret now. Is that right? I think that's right. So that is on page Tov Kuf Lamed Tes. All right. It starts out. I mean, I might as well. So we have like 20 minutes or 15 minutes, something like that. Okay. Inyan the Ketoret Sham Nizboyer Gam Kain Tikun Echod Shikav B'Ketoret. So here, I guess in this little piece, wants to say that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the top first, just to get us through. See if there's some things that are very pasha to us. The Indian pitum of Ketoret, when they get to this pitum of Ketoret, right? Whatever pitum means of Ketoret, he said, "V'gam came noide masha kasev v'zorim v'parsha v'yakel v'zechel d'shono begin kach uvda the Ketoret itzrich." So therefore, the actual making of the Ketoret. I'm going to skip this introduction, which brings the Zohar. The Zohar. I think did we look at this before? It looks familiar to me, but I don't know. L'akadama l'tzilusa. So excuse me. Wow, I lost the track. He said the Ketoret itzrich l'hakadama l'tzilusa, to have it come before you really get deeply into prayer. Hinecha the elnis bar in Yanu. So up above we explain what's pshat over here, and he says what bin Yanu. He says halo yeshbo echad asa simonim. So how does that answer? He says there are 11 different simonim that we want to talk about. Shehem sod osam oros hamachayim esakali, which is the secret of those lights. He says it's 11. Hamachayim esakali, bring light into falseness. Life into falseness. In other words, it couldn't exist without this. So our kavana is to bring them out from amidst the kali, and the kali will remain dead. So look, I'll do the light print going back onto this and move through it. So where do we get where's the kavan? So we want to read the Zohar al Inyan the Miras HaKetoret Shetzrichem, that it's necessary. And we're going to move along here. He says lahagdima ala tefillah has to come before davening, before tefillah. Maybe he means a Shemona Esrei, I'm not sure, but early in the davening. So Ketoret yesh echad asa mine simonim. So there's 11 different types of spices there. Ha'echad asa simonim, he names them. So the echad asa mine simonim, okay, he doesn't name them. Hem echad asa oros, they actually represent 11 separate lights. Kedusha of Kedusha ha'machayim esakal akali, which is what makes it possible for falseness to exist. So he says, the saint of Amiris Ketoret he, the solid of the Hotzia as Echad Asa Oros of Kedusha is to be able to remove the 11 Oros of Kedusha, and Nimsoim Besocha Kali, which are found in the midst of the Kali. V'gam kavan the saint of Amiris Ketoret, but also our kavana is this: La'alos as Echad Asa Chasimomenim Lamalo El Kedusha, to elevate them to Kedusha. So he says, so all this we know. Because this actually has the effect to pull them out. Achadas is meaning oras, 11 different types of light. So now he's differentiating, I guess you would say, 11 different types of light. And it also brings them up. And as a result of that, kills the falseness. Because they don't have a living soul within them, there's no life in them. So that's the way it is with lies. Tom, so we're now read across the top a little bit again. So Tom should take the lomer pita magatoras b'shakris of b'mincha. So why is it we have it at those two times? He says that v'zecha v'sod mansha oimrecha b'pita b'ketoret b'shachris kodem b'tefillah achar carbon the tarban k'nizka le'el after the carbon as we mentioned up above. V'gam b'tefillas mincha kodem amida, so also you do it there too. Coming the same to hila alkos olamos. What we're trying to do is what? We're in the davening, and in the early part of the davening, we're in the process of elevating our lowly world, tefillas through prayers. So therefore we're saying this. So the Kali should not give the whole of this. And as we are elevating the worlds into more and more truth, that should bring lies along with it. So that's the reason why we do it at those two places. Before we get into really moving up and closer to Atzilus, to Hashem. So therefore at the end of the Tefillah Shachris, we go back and we say it again at the end of Shachris. Now I've been thinking about this, and what's happening at the end of Shachris, like by Oleno right before that, is that what's happening is that you're bringing Shefa down into Malchus. So you go down the other way. So I haven't read this whole thing so closely. So I was thinking that, so, keep it out of Eleno, which represents down at the bottom at Malchus itself, and bringing the Shefa down. Keep it out of there. So the reason why, as we've mentioned before, just what I said. But at the Tefillah of Arvis, we don't do it. We don't have the strength to be able to do something like this. To do what? To be able to elevate or eliminate the calling. Let's see where we'd be. We'd be on number test in the light print here. So in the morning before we get to the Tefillah Shachris. Ana Omrim as Parshas Pita Ketoret, so we say the Achor Rabinus Carbon the Talmud. So it's a few extra words here. Gam B'Tefillah Mincha Noagim Lomer Parshas Ketoret, so we also say a Mincha time. Lahadim Kodim Tefillas Amida Shel Tefillas Mincha. Now you're thinking like this: you come into Mincha, and the Mincha, your Kavana should be that you're going to have to say Pita Ketoret before Mincha, because now you're going to immediately go into delving into elevating. So that's probably an important idea here. So you have to understand what's going on in Pita Ketoret. So he says, okay, but bonus at the Tefillah he kadei la'alos nesach alama the madregi yosach al yoina. L'chein ana oimrim lefnech Tefillah daika parshas Pita Ketoret. So therefore he wants to stick it in right there. Kevin shakabana but Tefillah he la'alos as a alama lamala. And so the Kali should not also get a hold of that. So you say it also the time that you're elevating the world. So therefore, Omrim Pita Ketoret. So therefore, we're saying the Pita Ketoret. So now you're saying it. So he just says what he says. Akadusha on Imsoim Bakali. Vayadei came Mason Makali the Kali Diva Ainda Olim Be'ez Elias Alomo Shaldakadusha. G'day Hames Akali Beg'day Shalo Ya'alhu Im Alomo Zakadusha Be'ez Eliasa. The kind of Beparshas Pita Ketoret. That's what does it. Sheheim Tefillah Shachris, Tefillah Mincha, we said before. V'gam B'sov Tefillah Shachris. Chosrim V'omrim Pam Nosefes says Parshas Pita Ketoret. V'rak yesh b'zecha v'chiduch b'bein Ashkenaz, Ashkanim l'Sfardim. I think it's a misprint. Mine has a mem there. So it should be Ashkenaz. Something wrong there. Did I got that wrong? And Sephardim. So here he spreads it right. So Ashkenazim, or did I Ashken? Yeah. So he says the Ashkenazim oim rechab akrech tefillah. 1 second. After the Tefillah Urak Parshas Pita Ketoret, only say Pita Ketoret. The Sephardim, which in our modern day Ashkenazim do that at all. He really means Nusach Sephard, I guess. Sephardim Noagim Lomer B'Sof Tefillah B'Kol Parshas Ketoret is the whole thing. Just like the same thing you say before you daven. Now this I was just about to look it up when whoops, look up this word rafed. Okay, so let's see. Okay, here we go. So we're at the top. So he says there's a difference between the Ashkenaz version of Pita Ketoret and the Sfardim. So the Sfardim and Noagim B'Sof Tefillah are called Parshas HaKetoret. It's the whole thing. Like we said the same thing. V'gam B'Siddur. Now I didn't pick up this word, but the Yitzira, it's apparently this is the name of the Siddur, I think. And he says that's the Siddur Shehispala Bo Arizal HaKodesh, the Arizal. That's the Siddur that he used. He said if a Nidva is called Parshas HaKetoret B'Sof Tefillah, so they put the whole parsha over there. So we see the Sfardim picked up the minhagim of the ARI. So it's Parshas Pita Ketoret. So the reason why we're saying also the parts of Pita Ketoret also at the end of the Tefillah Shachris is why he says this is what has happened. Is that you have a tremendous shefa that's coming from those yichudim that were made in Olam Atzilus. So then now start to fall down the river is flowing. And it's going down all into those places. And so that they should not be getting the shefa as it's flowing downwards. The olamos atachtonim. He said the chein la'achar tefillah shachris ana oimrim pipa ketoret pam sheni. So therefore, at that time we say it a second time. Why kedei lachamis is a kali, especially now in this situation, we find the Jewish people. V'lo yuchlo liyanach min shefach yored v'nishbal l'olamos atachtonim, and they're unable to get anything to suck off of the shefa that's going down and flowing to us. So according to this harvest, but before harvest, what about that? Ain't omrim parshas HaKetoret, we don't do that. Why not? He says tam she'im omrim gam b'layla pita b'Ketoret. He yosha b'laylos hu zaman din. Basi nikas akali. It's a time of sucking the kali. So therefore, ein lano koach lahamis is a kali. We don't have the power to be able to kill the kali. We can't do it. We don't have the strength, or the time is not there. B'shum kach ein omrim Ketoret kolin tefilas arvis. So therefore, we don't say it at that time. Now here's a little one. We'll try this one here and see what we can make out of it. He says, "Yisboyer tam lama yesh yud al zemamet as zemamet HaKetoret." So I really. I actually, this would be my question. He calls it simonim. Elu, heim sod the sovereign nitzutze kedusha. They're sod of 11 different sparks of kedusha, machaya hakali, which brings light into the gali, besod or panimi. So the question is, why 11? So he said, then this is like inside of the kali. V'yesh, so the kali then is surrounding the kedusha. That's the way it is with kali. V'yesh nitzak echad shehu besod or hamakif lechem, and then one of them. So in other words, there's 10 lights. That's what he's saying. But there also has a makif. So if you compare it to the eye, the light that's inside of the kali, that we call an or panimi, which would be 10 lights. This one doesn't get divided into 10. In other words, if we're saying sounds like he's saying it's one light and it's divided into 10. But this makif, it doesn't get divided. That's why I think he said, "Ve'ein makif mischalek le'eser kadinyan or hapanimi." It's not similar to that. So the fee, why? She'or hamakif hu or pashut echod. It's a very one simple light. The nikra or echod bilvad, and it's only called one light, only one light. So that comes out like, let me tell you how it comes out. He says, "Benimsa sha'or ha'panim nechlok lo saru," which is what I was saying. V'or ha'makiv she'enu nechlok, it doesn't get divided up. Bein kulam heim echad asa simone ketoret. So if you had asked the question, how'd you get to 11? Here it is, and let's try to run through this as fast as possible. Number Kaf Gimel. Let's go to the number Kaf Daled. He says, "Echad asa simone mischalkim ba'ofen shehasara mini simomedim heim eses spheres amechayim esakalik." So, or is a benimid. It's our good old 10 spheros. V'yesh lagam nitzotz echad. There's a spark there, a spark of light. A gadusha shuhu or makif, which is the surrounding light. Okay, I think we still have 2 minutes, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's try to finish this up. We have a couple of minutes. If ain't a makif v'zel, let's go down to a number called Vav. He says, "Or hamakif v'zel mechayim b'zakalecha ina b'schalo the essence spheres pratios." Gedinyan or hapenimi shemas chalek le'eses spheres pratios. Raku or makif echad belvad. I was just wondering if this is a concept. He's taking a one light, dividing it to 10. So I'm not sure how you do that division, but let's say you did it, but we understand it's a system of light. So therefore, why the makif is it true that makif is always only one light? Let's go on. It doesn't split. And the reason for this is or hamakif hu rak or echad pasha. That's what it is. So that's the nature of it. So that doesn't become processed, or the mugval means bounded by them, but it doesn't become part of whatever's going on in the inside. So it's not bounded. So I guess if you put okay, that's it. We'll be stopping right there. I guess we get to the point where it has to stop, and we'll start over again on the beginning of that next time. This is Baruch Fleischman. These have been Shiurim, morning Shiurim, in the morning, the drushes of the holy ARI.